They cast this animal as the villain of the savannah, a cowardly, stupid thief that only laughs and steals kills. Almost every single part of that story is completely false. It is not a dog, and it rarely steals anything at all. It is a matriarch, a genius, and a formidable hunter. Here on WildPlanetTV, the familiar stops being what it seems, so subscribe. Its closest relatives are cats, not the dogs it resembles. It solves puzzles that defeat chimpanzees, and its clans rival primates. This is the spotted hyena, the most slandered predator alive. So where did this savage reputation actually come from? For many centuries, we have told ugly stories about it. European travelers called it a coward, a robber, a demon. Folklore across many regions tied it to witchcraft and dark magic. It was said to dig up the dead and steal away children. Then a famous animated film gave its villains a hyena face. Generations grew up seeing them as stupid, giggling henchmen. That single portrayal shaped how millions of people still see them. Scientists who study hyenas still fight that image every single day, because the real animal is nothing at all like the cartoon. Let us start with the most basic mistake of them all. Almost everyone assumes the hyena is some kind of wild dog. It has a long, dog-like face, and it runs like one. But the hyena is not a canine, and never has been. Its closest living relatives are cats, mongooses, and civets. It sits on the cat branch of the carnivore family tree. The resemblance to dogs is a pure coincidence of evolution. Two unrelated animals, carved by need into the same runner. It is the same convergent evolution that built the vulture twice. And there is not one hyena, but 4 very different species: the spotted, the striped, the brown, and the odd aardwolf. The aardwolf even gave up meat to lick up termites by the thousand. But our story belongs to the largest and most misunderstood species, the spotted hyena, the one everybody pictures and nobody understands. Here is the fact that overturns the whole cowardly scavenger myth. Spotted hyenas hunt and kill most of the food that they eat. They are not cleaning up after lions, they are hunting for themselves. In many regions, the great majority of meals are their own work. They are among the most successful large predators in all of Africa. And the way that they hunt is a masterclass in endurance. A hyena is not a sprinter that ambushes from thick cover. It is a long-distance runner, built for relentless open pursuit. It trots calmly into a herd and simply watches them react. It reads which animal is slow, sick, young, or hesitant. Then it commits to one target, and it does not stop. It can run for several kilometers without ever slowing down. It holds a steady pace that most prey simply cannot sustain. The hunt is won by stamina and never by a single leap. Its heart and lungs are enormous for an animal of its size. It is one of the finest endurance athletes on the whole savannah. And now comes the part that flips the story completely around. We picture hyenas stealing food from noble, hard-working lions. In truth, it usually happens the other way around entirely. Lions frequently take over the kills that hyenas brought down. The great thief of the savannah is very often the lion. The animal we called a scavenger was robbed and then blamed. To keep what it catches, the hyena needed serious weaponry, and its skull is one of nature's great engineering feats. The head is broad, heavy, and packed with enormous muscle. A tall ridge of bone runs along the top of that skull. That ridge anchors the jaw muscles that give it monstrous power. The spotted hyena has one of the strongest bites of any mammal. Behind the sharp teeth sit specialized cone-shaped bone-crushing premolars. They work like hammers, shattering the thickest bones with ease. It can crack open a leg bone that would defeat a lion. But the real marvel is what happens after it swallows. Its stomach acid is extraordinarily strong, close to the vulture's. It dissolves bone almost completely, taking the marrow and minerals. Hyenas can digest hide, hooves, teeth, and solid bone alike. Almost nothing is wasted, and almost nothing is left behind. Their droppings even turn chalk white from all that calcium. And that fierce acid destroys the pathogens hiding in old remains. A hyena can safely consume an animal lost to anthrax. The disease dies inside its gut, exactly as in a vulture. So the hyena is a second, third line of natural sanitation. It removes the dead before disease can spread through the herd. One clan can erase an entire body in a matter of minutes. The animal we call filthy
is quietly cleaning the whole landscape. But the hyena's most underrated organ is not its jaw. It is the surprisingly large brain sitting right behind it. Spotted hyenas carry unusually big brains for a carnivore, and the region handling social decisions is especially developed. Researchers have tested them with problems built for primates. In one experiment, food was locked behind a cooperative puzzle. Two animals had to pull two ropes at the very same moment. Pull that rope alone, and absolutely nothing happens. Chimpanzees usually need training and hints to solve this task. The hyenas worked it out on their own, with no instruction. Pairs coordinated silently, watching each other and timing the pull. Experienced individuals even slowed down to help clueless partners. They solved a primate puzzle faster than the primates did. They also count, in their own rough and practical way. Clans listen to rival calls and judge how many are coming. If the intruders sound too numerous, they simply withdraw. They weigh the odds carefully before committing to any fight. They recognize every clan member individually by voice alone. They remember who helped them and who quietly did not.
They track alliances, grudges, and shifting family ranks. Scientists call this the social brain, sharpened by complex living. Hyena societies are so intricate that the mind had to grow. This is not a stupid, giggling scavenger from a cartoon. It is one of the most socially intelligent carnivores alive. And that society is unlike almost anything else in nature. A spotted hyena clan can hold 80 members or even more. They split apart and merge again all through the day. It is a fluid society, far closer to a chimpanzee troop. But one rule sits above everything else in that clan. The females are in charge, completely and without any exception. Spotted hyena society is a strict and absolute matriarchy. Females are larger, heavier, and more powerful than the males. They are also considerably more aggressive and far more assertive. Every single female outranks every single male in the clan. Even the lowest-ranking female sits above the very top male. A single dominant matriarch leads the entire group. She decides where they hunt, where they rest, and where they raise young. And rank here is not won purely through fighting. Cubs inherit their mother's social position, almost like royalty. The daughter of a high-ranking female begins life near the top. It is inherited privilege, a system seen elsewhere in primates. Sons, however, get nothing at all from their mother's rank. When a male matures, he must leave his clan entirely. He arrives in a new group as the lowest-ranking outsider. He waits, behaves politely, and slowly earns any acceptance. Female hyenas also carry a highly unusual reproductive anatomy. It so confused ancient writers that they claimed hyenas changed sex. Birth through it is extraordinarily difficult, and first cubs often die. Motherhood here is brutal, expensive, and utterly relentless. If a female-led society impresses you, comment the word clan. Hyena cubs arrive ready for the world as few carnivores do. Their eyes are already open and their teeth are already through. Most carnivores are born blind, toothless, and utterly helpless. A hyena cub can bite from its very first hours of life. Twins sometimes spar fiercely to settle dominance immediately. The mother raises them in a communal den shared with the clan, but she will nurse only her own cubs and never another's. And her milk is among the richest of any land carnivore. It is extraordinarily high in both fat and protein. She feeds them that way for well over a whole year. It is one of the longest nursing periods among all carnivores. She must hunt constantly to fuel that enormous investment. And here we finally reach the sound that everyone knows, the famous hyena laugh, the giggle that built their whole reputation. It is not laughter, and there is no amusement in it at all. The giggle is a signal of stress, fear, or deep frustration. A hyena giggles when it is harassed, cornered, or losing food. The pitch even carries information about the animal's age and rank. The sound we found so sinister is really the sound of distress. Their true voice is the whoop, a long call carrying for kilometers. We turned an animal's cry for help into a punchline. If that changed the laugh for you, share this with someone. That whoop is how a scattered clan stays connected. Each individual's whoop is unique, like a name spoken aloud. It can travel up to about 5 kilometers across open ground. A single call can summon an entire clan to a hunt. Now let us look at what hyenas actually do for the land. They are one of Africa's most important natural cleanup services.
By consuming remains completely, they stop disease at its source. Flies, rot, and infection never get the chance to spread. They also keep herbivore numbers in check as active predators, and in some places, they live right alongside people. In parts of Ethiopia, hyenas walk the city streets at night. In the old walled town of Harar, they are actually welcomed. For generations, people there have fed them by hand. The hyenas clear away the waste and scraps from the streets. Researchers estimate they remove large amounts of refuse each year. That service quietly reduces disease risk for people and livestock. Attacks are remarkably rare in towns where they are respected. The animals learn the humans, and the humans learn the animals. It is one of the strangest partnerships between people and predators.
A creature we call a demon, cleaning our streets for free. And yet, across most of Africa, the story is very different, because the old hatred still has real and deadly consequences. Hyenas are among the most persecuted large carnivores on Earth. They are shot, snared, and poisoned right across their range. Poisoned bait meant for predators can kill whole clans at once. They are killed in revenge whenever any livestock is lost. They are hunted for use in traditional medicine and superstition. Body parts are still sold for rituals in some regions. The very myths that demonize them now help to destroy them. Spotted hyena numbers are falling outside the protected areas. The striped and brown hyenas are in even greater trouble. Both are now considered near-threatened across their ranges. The striped hyena may number only a few thousand adults, and almost nobody campaigns to save an animal they despise. Charities raise fortunes for lions, elephants, and rhinos. Almost nothing is raised for the predator we cast as a villain. That is the real cost of a story told badly. We do not protect what we were taught to hate, and we were taught to hate one of the smartest hunters alive. A misunderstanding, repeated for centuries, became a death sentence. So what, in the end, is the hyena actually for? It is a hunter that catches most of what it eats. It is a bone crusher that erases disease from the landscape. It is a matriarch leading one of nature's most complex societies.
It is a mind that outsolves chimpanzees at their own puzzles, and it is not a dog, a coward, or a thief. The next time you hear that laugh called cruel and evil, remember it is a cry of stress from a slandered genius. Our next animal is feared as a vampire and a plague. Next time, the bat, the blood drinker that almost never drinks blood. If this changed how you see the hyena, subscribe and stay wild.